Hey guys, it's Andrew. Welcome back to the channel. So guys, this one is going to be a little bit different, more focused on tips and tricks in health at the moment. So guys, as you can see, I'm filming from bed. I'm still recovering from COVID and bronchitis. And so this is tips and tricks I've found for living with a chronic health condition and chronic pain. So just a bit of background that my chronic pain comes from something called peripheral neuropathy. We suspect it has come from the Sjogren's syndrome. So Sjogren's syndrome is an autoimmune disorder and it is a form of arthritis. And so this means that I don't make enough moisture in my eyes, so I don't make enough tears, I don't make enough saliva. I do sweat, but not enough to regulate my body heat in summer. And I do have nerve pain. So I have the traditional pinching, nerve pain, and feeling like ants running up and down my spine, my eyes, type of thing. And if you're a regular watcher of the video, you'll notice that sometimes I'm randomly itching or ticking as well. That is also, we suspect, part of it. So the first thing I've found is, especially with chronic pain, is know your medication regime, know what's out there. This is becoming even more critical with the changes of medications and what doctors can prescribe at one time. It used to be that they had to do what was called a Regulation 25, I believe it was, to supply you with more than a month's type of medication. That was generally reserved for those who were either in disability accommodation, nursing homes, or rural or type thing. Now, I believe there's like 100 to 200 medications that they can dispense 2 months' supply with. However, we need to be aware that community pharmacies may not be ready for this change. They are still struggling with COVID shortages as well. And so, guys, as an ex-pharmacy assistant, please be kind to the pharmacist and the pharmacy support staff as well. They will try to guide you on what is right for you as well. Educate your doctors on generic or other alternatives. I know in some cases, like myself with epilepsy, there is a slight change in therapeutic dosages. So they try not to give me different generics as well. But sometimes the generics do come out of the same factory. Just talk to your pharmacist about that one. So that's my second tip, is go to a regular pharmacy. So build a relationship with your local community pharmacy. It can be a chain pharmacy. See if they do Webster packing as well, because medication compliance is huge. So that's my next one, is be compliant in taking your medications as well. My second one is have a regular GP. Even if it is a walk-in bulk billing clinic, you can request the same doctor. You just have to manage your time well as well. The second one is some non-drug options, is getting the right levels of nutrition. So there are ways to do this on a budget. So guys, consider going down to your local fruit and veggie markets, your local greengrocer, buying what's in season, produce swap groups and consumer groups, swapping over the back fence, all ways to get fresh fruit and veg. And don't discount, they are there for a reason, your local food pantries and food banks. I know one of mine does hampers for about $55, and that, when I have seen them, it's been enough to split between 3 families. So guys, consider those if you're on a lower income as well. And my third one is keep hydrated as well. So I drink a lot of water due to the dry mouth as well. My other one is what I'm doing right now, is I'm lying on a heated blanket as well. I don't like the heated lap rugs because I've seen too many burns with those. But if you have a support worker that can monitor that, great option. Also, talking to your care team about your limits as well. So that might be your limits of time, money, energy, and pain as well. And having a look at non-drug options. So that might be exercise physiology, that might be massage, and also looking after your mental health. Living in chronic pain is quite demoralizing because you can never escape it. It does take a toll on your mental health as well as your physical health and your fiscal health, because I find I'll run up the internet bill on high pain days as well. And also, this leads into my next one, which is distraction. So have things that you enjoy that could be internet free if you're on like myself, on a metered plan. So that could be offline video gaming, that could be painting, that could be craft, it could be walking if you've got a support worker and they don't charge for transport, it could be going for a drive and sitting in a park, it could be meditation, it could be window shopping through the local variety store, it could be op shopping. All things that are low cost, you don't have to spend a lot of money as well. Some of those are also great community access ideas as well. The big one that I've now found is eating regularly. I have always struggled with eating regularly and pain signals as well. So, guys, this is something that we need to be very aware of. This is something I only found out recently. Again, it will depend on your circumstances, your living situation as well. Is that if fatigue is one of your symptoms of your disability or health related support, you can apply for a meal delivery service. I have trialed light and easy in the past and found it wonderful, but one of the downsides with that is all of the dinners are frozen and they do start to taste a bit the same after a while. So there is some other alternatives as well that you can do. U-Foods, you can do meal delivery like Hello Plate, Marley Spoon, or talking to a support worker and pre-cooking some meals as well, or buying the ingredients and they cook with you as well. I recently have had the experience, because I've been incredibly ill, of my sister and brother-in-law, and a shout out to them, I know they watch the channel, recently took my freezer apart and they've taken the ingredients and they're cooking me some dinners as well. Because left to my own devices, I'm fine for breakfast and lunch. Dinners, if I was left to my own devices, I'd be living on cereal. Not the healthiest option. And so, guys, this is something to really consider as well. And consider joining a local support group, whether that be online, through Facebook, Reddit, Discord, or even as things are starting to open up, face to face. I do know that some of the local pharmacies offer walking groups, but I will say check in with your GP whether they're suitable for you as well. And guys, this is something that we need to talk about a lot more, that chronic pain in the disabled community is something that we don't really talk about. I know that there's a lot of talk around the NDIS and the sustainability of it, the getting it back to its roots, and it's creating a lot of fear and anxiety. But the best way to tackle that fear and anxiety is to talk to those who are making the decisions. They could be decisions on your behalf, that could be decisions on others' behalf, that could be, if you're in the power to do it, writing to your local member and explaining your story. As well, talking to your support organisation and seeing how much they are charging you, seeing if there's better value for money, remembering that it's your plan and your life and your goals. And don't be afraid to put in a change of circumstances if your care needs to change as well. So the biggest expenses they're finding in the NDIS, and this is just from my research, incidental reading, is not after still housing. So that's supported independent living. So that's building capacity, housing people. So getting them out of institutions, getting them out of aged care facilities. So in institutions, I'm talking about hospitals, I'm talking about big institutions that house a lot of disabled people that will run on an institutional basis into a more relaxed setting. I'm talking about aged care, I'm talking about hospitals, I'm talking about living with aging parents, I'm talking about people living in homeless shelters, I'm talking about people who are couch surfing, who are waiting for public housing, who are living in caravans and hostels, and getting them into appropriate accommodation with appropriate levels of care. However, there are some who actively choose those lifestyles, especially tiny houses and caravans as well. That might be great for their needs. They might be on family or friends' properties who can check in on them as well. I do know that that is becoming a really great model of care, but they need to have that sustainable as well. And guys, check on your regulations around that as well. But coming back to the chronic pain is getting into green space as well. So green space is so vital for our mental health as well. And so that's something that we need to be aware of. Is if you're in an apartment or something, having a few pot plants or some herbs or asking a support worker to take you to a park. Again, it all does depend on what you do as well, community access wise. So, guys, thank you for listening to me ramble. I know I don't often record in bedroom. It's just when I'm having high pain and dizzy days as that I am. And guys, thank you so much for watching. If you can like, share, subscribe, that gets the algorithm to see me as well. And guys, I do have the Patreon. I do risk shutting down the channel if I can't get the subscribers up. I really don't want to have to do that. And so guys, if you can, I'll link it down below, the Patreon as well. So guys, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.